Welcome to the Complete Java Programming course. In this chapter, you'll discover what Java is, why millions of developers use it, and how it became one of the world's most popular programming languages. But in the early 1990s, this was the daily reality of software development. Because there was no common language connecting different machines, programs were trapped on the specific hardware they were built for, creating a massive bottleneck for the digital world. If a programmer wrote a tool for a Windows computer, a Mac or a smart gadget would look at that same code and see nothing but gibberish. Developers were forced to take their original work and rebuild it from the ground up for every new system they wanted to support. This meant that releasing a single program on 3 different devices often took triple the time and triple the budget. How you build one piece of code that a desktop computer, an internet server, and a smart gadget can understand without having to start over every time. Welcome to the Java Programming course. Today, we're going to look at the language that finally provided the answer. By 1995, the team was ready to show the world a language that would remove the need for constant rewrites. The breakthrough was a shift in thinking. Instead of changing the code for every machine, what if they put a universal translator inside the machines themselves? This led to the defining principle of Java: write once, run anywhere. That translator is the JVM, or Java Virtual Machine. When you run a program, the JVM translates your code in real time. Whether it's going to a laptop, a smartphone, or a cloud server, the machine understands instantly, without the programmer ever touching the original file. By building this bridge, Java became the common thread that allowed the entire digital world to finally speak the same language. Once developers were freed from the cycle of constant rewrites, software began to spread into almost every corner of modern industry. Today, Java is the silent engine running billions of devices. It manages the massive server farms and cloud systems that hold our global data. Because of its reliability, it handles the high-stakes transactions in our banking systems and runs millions of the Android apps we use every day. Since it's proven to be stable even when handling massive amounts of traffic, professional developers trust it for complex work like artificial intelligence and big data. Java's presence in our lives today is the direct result of that original vision from 1991, one language for everything. Now that you understand the history, it's time for you to start writing it. We've designed a step-by-step journey that takes you from the very first basics to building professional-level projects. We'll cover how to organize your code, use pre-made tools to build apps faster, and much more. You don't need any background in computer science to start. We're going to learn everything together, one piece at a time. One of the world's most popular programming languages was originally created for televisions, not computers. This is the story. Developers faced a massive obstacle called platform dependency. If you wrote a program for one specific type of desktop computer, that program was physically locked to that machine. It couldn't talk to a different brand of computer or a television without being completely rewritten from scratch. For developers, this was an exhausting loop of constant rewriting. The goal was to find a way to make code universally understood across any device, regardless of who manufactured it. In 1991, a company called Sun Microsystems launched the Green Project to solve this compatibility issue for the next generation of home electronics. The team was led by James Gosling, alongside Mike Sheridan and Patrick Naughton. Gosling designed a new language for the project and named it Oak, after a tree he could see from his office window. However, because another company already owned the name Oak, the team had to pivot. During the brainstorming session over coffee, they landed on a new name inspired by their favorite drink, Java. This small team didn't know it yet, but their niche project for living room gadgets was about to solve the biggest problem of the early internet. By 1995, the World Wide Web was growing rapidly. Millions of people were connecting to each other, but they were all using completely different types of computers that didn't naturally speak the same language. When Java was officially released in 1995, it was exactly what the early web needed. It provided a way for a website to instantly send software to a user that would run perfectly, no matter what kind of computer that user owned. This was possible because of a principle called write once, run anywhere, or WORA. Think of traditional programming like writing a speech for a global meeting. Normally, you'd have to rewrite that speech 50 times for 50 different languages. Java acts like a universal earpiece. You write the speech once, and the system handles the translation for every listener automatically. Because Java provides its own translation layer, the brand of a user's computer stopped being an obstacle for the software running on it. First, the developer writes instructions in plain text called Java source code. The Java compiler translates this into a universal format called bytecode. That bytecode travels to the user's device, where it meets the JVM, or Java Virtual Machine. The JVM acts as a personal assistant. It reads the bytecode and adapts it specifically for your operating system, like Windows, Linux, or Mac OS. You'll also hear about the JRE, the Java Runtime Environment. This is simply the digital space where the JVM is allowed to work. Finally, there is the JDK, the Java Development Kit. This is the master toolbox developers use to build the code in the first place. This sequence, from human code to the JVM, is why Java remains independent of any single platform. Over the next few decades, Java moved beyond simple websites. It became the primary choice for massive systems used by global businesses and banks, and it even powered early mobile development. In the year 2010, Oracle officially acquired Sun Microsystems. This ensured the language would continue to receive the updates and modern features needed to keep it relevant. Java became popular because of how it's built. It uses object-oriented design, which means developers build software using modular, self-contained blocks, much like using Lego bricks to build a complex castle. It's also highly secure and designed to be robust, meaning it's built to prevent errors before they can crash a system. It also features multi-threading, which allows the software to juggle many different tasks at the exact same time without slowing down. These capabilities made Java the standard for large-scale organizations that require software that is both fast and extremely reliable. Today, Java runs the back-end data centers that keep the modern internet online. Its focus on security makes it the foundation for high-stakes environments, including the banking systems that process millions of global transactions every day. It is the technology behind massive platforms like Google, Amazon, Netflix, LinkedIn, Uber, and Spotify. Java also powers native Android applications, global e-commerce sites, and modern big data tools that analyze massive amounts of information. Java was designed from day one to be secure and portable. Understanding these original goals helps you see why it is still the standard for the world's most critical systems today. In the next lesson, we'll explore the features of Java and discover why it remains one of the most powerful programming languages in the world. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and continue your Java learning journey.